Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Work Video Clips. And a couple of things I want to mention to you. Winter semester starts this week is when the Diet and Lifestyle course starts tomorrow. That's the 15-module course I keep talking about that covers women's health and men's health and children's health and autoimmune and gastrointestinal diseases and musculoskeletal, mental health. I mean, lots of topics. It's a great overview course, and lay people can take it. I mean, a lot of health professionals do take it. It's offered through our school. A lay person can take it, and you can just audit it so you don't even have to do the final project if you're just in it for information. The rest of the semester courses start in a couple weeks after that, and those are cardiovascular disease, psychology, and nutrition and immune function. In just a couple weeks is our all-day cancer boot camp taught by teleconference. I'm going to talk about some treatments that I haven't talked about yet, and we're going to talk about a lot of the myths associated with cancer causation and diets to treat cancer, and should you juice, should you not juice, and just all the questions that people ask. I've been keeping track of the cancer-related questions that people ask, and I'm going to talk about a lot of those. And that's on Saturday, the last Saturday of the month, and it's an all-day program. And then keep in mind, if you're here local in Columbus, we do cooking classes on Tuesday nights, and they're really inexpensive. You can learn how to make healthy food and join with other people who are interested in healthy food. It's a fun social experience as well as being a great learning experience. So interested in any of that, send me an email at pampopper@msn.com. You can also call our office. We're open like 12 hours a day, and we're kind of strange people. We like to talk to people rather than just deal with them online. So feel free to call us as well. All right, so I have some kind of inspiring news to share with you. This was sent to me, not to me specifically, but to a group by a doctor in Australia. And I think it's a poignant message and one that everybody needs to hear around this time. There are just a couple things I've left out in the interest of making it make sense for video, but here goes. As we commence another year, it's worth our while to reflect on our lives and how the world and we have changed over the past 2 years. Importantly, it behooves us to be aware of our own lives and how we conduct them, as our own life is the thing over which we have the most significant influence. The world will do what the world will do. We can't control that, which is why it's no good worrying about it. I recall the wise words of a beautiful patient of ours over 35 years, Jim Morris, who I interviewed before he passed away at 95. After gaining his approval to share his wisdom, I asked him why he thought he had lived such a long, productive, happy life, despite the fact that he'd been a smoker since he was 12 years old, after the stress of seeing his mother die. He was raised during the Depression by his unemployed father, and Jim and his siblings lived in a large chicken coop for some time. In Jim's opinion, some things he did had contributed to his longevity, but good genes was not one of them. All of his family died relatively young. He said the fact that he was always physically active, always ate lots of fruits and vegetables. In fact, I used to help dig his garden for him as he had a bad back. He never drank alcohol. He laughed a lot. We can still hear his hearty laugh today. He slept well, and he was always lean, and that helped. But the most important factor by far, in his opinion, was that he never worried. He said he learned early in life that there were two types of problems: those you can do something about, that's number one, and number two, those over which you have no control. After his mom died, he determined he would never worry about those in category 2 again. And if he had problems in category 1, he would do what he could to solve them and then never worry about them. He had done his best. That's all he could do. As Jim said, why would I worry over something I cannot do anything about? All that does is age you faster and makes you miserable. Jim had a natural distrust of politicians and was a very independent thinker. Had he been alive through this time, he would have been a member of Eyes Wide Open. Jim would have done what he could do, as we're all doing, and then he would have enjoyed his life, wasting no time on any worry about the outcome over which he had no control. I recounted the same story 2 weeks ago when I was the guest speaker for a group on Zoom. And the moderator asked what advice I would give people who are awake and concerned about what's going on right now. All we can do is what we can do. When we all find ourselves fretting, worrying, losing hope, we need to think of Jim in World War II as the world stood on the precipice of this. We all need to find our own sources of inspiration in life, not just in these testing times. Dawn and I find our inspiration in life itself, in each other, in each of you, and in people like Jim. Inspiration is like a relay baton, handed on from one to another. You receive it, you pass it on. However, it's biodegradable and needs to be rekindled regularly. Never underestimate the power of it. It's a close relative of encouragement, affirmation, and empowerment. Great achievements never eventuate without these qualities, as history attests. So best wishes for the year ahead, and may 2022 bring you abundant health, happiness, and all the beautiful qualities that make up this special adventure called life. And I think you can see why I wanted to share that with you. While some things are better, I still hear from an awful lot of people who are struggling. And so I understand why they're sideways, but I think that we do what we can do, and then you have to sleep well and put stuff out of your mind. And people who live to a wise old age, I think one of the reasons they do, as this gentleman said, is because they learn how to do that, because stress can surely kill you as much as bad food. All right, that's all for today. As usual, pass this on to anybody who you think would enjoy watching it, and I'll be back to you tomorrow with more news.